Hello, and welcome to Video 3. The project Transforming Higher Education prepared this series of videos on business education as part of a wider series of videos on key success elements, which are critical to educating ethical leaders and problem solvers in an innovative way that responds to the challenges of the 21st century. This video will be presented in two parts. Welcome to Part A of Alternative Methodologies and Models of Business Education. We will be looking through educational programs, educational environments, business education methodologies, best practices, and the value of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Educational programs. There are two types of educational programs. One is business training, which focuses on skills through experience to achieve better performance in an activity or activities to achieve greater productivity. The second is business education, which is developed inside a university environment. Its goal is for an individual to learn through a broader educational process and training, as it tends to acquire knowledge, skills, values, and problem solving. Now we'll be looking and comparing types of educational programs in entrepreneurship. So let's compare. Business training is centered on skills and development. Educational programs are centered on structure competency development. The learning content within business training is focused on knowledge, skills, and attitudes relevant to a specific job, while educational programs have structured curriculum according to professional programs. The learning strategy within a business training is just training by mentors and entrepreneurs, while in educational programs, you have structured courses by professors. The learning evaluation process in business training is an assessment against job performance standards. In educational programs, it's an assessment against competency or knowledge acquisition and/or traditional pass-fail exams. And the didactic pedagogy in business training is demonstration, practice, and feedback. In educational programs, you have lectures, guided reading, debate, self-management, active learning, and projects, among others. Pedagogical methods. Most authors classify pedagogical methods into two large groups. There are the traditional methods, also called passive methods, which are based on the professor as a holder of knowledge, and the student assumes a passive role of knowledge recipient. The other method is the active action-based method that focuses on students learning through the application of knowledge. Both methodologies are complementary in development of the business mindset. For the purpose of this video, we will be focusing on active pedagogical methods. In addition to the above methods, there are various environments in which entrepreneurships can be developed in the university in an active way that allows students to apply their theoretical concepts and principles as part of the enterprise creation. So let's look at some educational environments. First, we have the simulated environments, within which a scenario is provided that aims to simulate a business situation that tries to be as close to reality as possible. Scenarios can be simulated using computerized systems, but situations requiring analysis and decision-making can also be created based on scenarios presented by the teacher using cards and other mechanisms. Through this learning tool, it is possible for the student to combine theory and practice while creating or managing a virtual company. Decision-making is carried out by the participants as part of the simulation process at different stages. For example, production, logistics, sales strategies, financing, and simulated performance results, among others. Its main benefit lies in the fact that the students are actively committed to the development of the company. The simulation environments have been oriented in two directions within university educational programs. General simulators are oriented to show the use of strategies at the business level and the main decisions that are made at the general management level and in the administration field. Also, general simulations can lead to the development of the startup phase, the creation of a new company, or the renewal of an existing company. On the other hand, it can also direct to certain areas or specific problems that the students want to develop, such as product marketing, finance, or problems related to a change in the law and how it will affect the company or a greater demand from the market for sustainable products. Some of the programs that stand out in the general simulator environment are the following: Farming Simulator 19, Business Policy Game, Business Strategic Game, CEO, Threshold, and the Multinational Management Game as examples. However, it is possible for teachers to develop their own simulations aimed at specific business competencies. In my experience, the Farming Simulator 19 is the most realistic of the groups shared here and the best option for players to approach the business side of agriculture by applying their knowledge through the management of the companies where they will have to decide which equipment to buy, what cattle to buy, and how much seed they will need for the season, among other decisions. In addition, it allows the players to drive the equipment, hire workers with the support of a human resource area, and even to contact and seek support from neighboring farms to joint work, allowing the participation of up to 16 players, which makes it an excellent class tool. Now, we also have specific simulators which are focused on activities within a specific area of the company, such as marketing, finance, production, or accounting. Some really great simulation games are the following. For marketing, there's the marketing game and marketing simulation. For the finance and international finance, there's FinGame and ForEd, and accounting has the management accounting simulation. Some of the methodologies include the performance in a non-competitive modality, which has a goal to just practice basic skills. A perfect example of a non-competitive simulator is called T-shirt. This has been designed for students with no prior knowledge of business management. Here, the students will have the opportunity to advise the owner who began designing T-shirts for friends and acquaintances and, due to the success achieved, decided to set up his own business. As a business advisor, the student will be able to practice their knowledge to decide on brand budget and promotion, price assign, as well as the quality of the raw material. The objective of the exercise is for students to become familiar with some basic business concepts, such as market, price, sales, margin, utility, product, and brand, which are widely used in the early steps of an entrepreneurship educational program. Since this is aimed at learning of basics concepts, it does not put the students in a competitive model so that they will collaborate during this early stage learning process. The competitive mode, on the other hand, is aimed at practicing strategic decision making and is done as part of a competitive business environment. A good example of this is the food company simulator based on a competitive multi-company environment. To recap, simulations and games are methodologies used that allow students to approach real-life situations and challenges to better practice competencies such as teamwork, conflict resolution, decision-making, interpersonal capabilities, among others. Thank you. This is the end of Part A. Please stay tuned for Part B.